Right, so at the minute, I had a bit of a play around with the base and just threw a red line on it with some felt tip pen. And I kind of thought it was kind of nice that it sort of spoke to the idea of the RS components, DesignSpark colors to sort of be a little accent, and also just I think it'll look kind of cool. So I ended up printing it in red, and even though that looks pretty heavy at the minute, bear in mind basically the white box. Sorry, it's not always easy to film this. Will sit on top like that, and so it'll actually be quite a small accent of red. And that basically also led me to think about things like this, and I don't know if you can actually see, that's just blue tacked on there. But I kind of thought it's interesting just to play around with what's enough colour to indicate a functionality of something versus a little bit too much. And so there's also something which I'm currently just printing out all the boxes for the main back box, which have had all the sort of screw bosses put in. But I also just thought this is a nice little trick of I printed this of 1/2 mil height, and I'm just going to lay it over the top and see whether I like it in red. The reason being is that the grill is obviously for the Raspberry Pi so that it can vent, but it's also the part of the box which, you know, sort of comes away first. And so this was one of the early prototypes, and I've actually realized that if I do want to print it in red, I've had to keep this as a separate piece. So in short, it really is just as you can see, sweating, staying inside a small box, trying not to make this too cold, because otherwise, generally speaking, 3D printers don't like the cold. So it's a nice summery, about 28 degrees in here. So yeah, so that's where we're at the minute, and then I'll basically be editing all this together and hoping it all comes together nicely. Fingers crossed.